Hi, family. You know, at first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this video, but I think I have to. I think that it's important. Not because my community is so sensitive. They are. It's unfortunate. I think that yes, my community is one of the oppressed at some point in time, but we're no longer that. We may be oppressed by individuals in our family. I mean, you cannot help other people's expectations of you. But I've also been thinking amongst our community, which we accept each other. I don't care what you look like, but your fetishes. We accept each other. GLBTQIA. The history of us is that we started out being queers. Then they evolved into the faggot word. That is so touching. It's a touchy word. Then, as we evolved over time, we were queers. Then we were gays. That's where the G comes from. You know? Then we realized, okay, now we are gays, like blacks are blacks and whites are whites. But now we have to separate because there's gay men and there's, the lesbians. So there's the L in our separation of sexes. The Q is, of course, the queer community. Transgender community. Beautiful people. But now we have a few other letters added. And I'm like, if I were I'm blushing right now, but I'm telling the truth. This is the thing. We've gotten so into being noticed that we're kind of moving it into what we like. Our personal stuff. If we add any more letters, I don't think that we're going to, I think we're actually going to start segregating each other. Like, I know that's such a strong word, separating each other. Oh, you're gay. Oh, you're a lesbian. Oh, you're queer. Do we all understand that queer is actually, the definition of it is unusual. And then when you add a person to it, it is unusual person. But then you add that we're gay or lesbian, then it's unusual sexual activity. That's what we're defining ourselves as now. Like when the blacks came to this country, we were the unusual or minority, therefore treated differently. Then that's how we did ourselves. We have now made ourselves a target for being treated differently. So in understanding that, let's start from the beginning. We have people. Then we segregate people. I'm sorry, segregate again. Is a separate people into sexes. We have the male and the female. Then we separate sexes into color. We haven't even gotten to the rest of it yet. A black male, a white female, an Indian male, an Indian female. Okay, we're separating ourselves at that point. I mean, if you think about it in the way that you should, it goes all the way, the separation goes all the way, and it gets so extensive to separating a man and a woman's abilities. Women cannot do this and men cannot do that, which is irritating all its own to women who can do this and men who can do that, or are more effeminate, or women who are more masculine, and assuming that they're incapable or whatever. This is what we're doing to ourselves as a community. We're adding so many letters as a community. And this is coming from a female that enjoys the same sex. It's not an enjoy prefers. So I'm trying not to say it harshly, but I want to be honest about it. The reason I call this a guided message is because there's something about what happened last night, which is in my previous video, that in its entirety, we can congregate with each other. Okay? It's like saying, cultures, we come in different, I guess, we are culturally different, even amongst our own culture, okay? So, say I'm African American. But I'm not only an African American, but my relatives are predominantly African American and American Indian. So then that's the separation between African. Then I guess that makes me, in the eyes of what we are doing to each other, I guess that is making me different than an African American who has no American Indian. So should I add African American Indian as a description of self? I don't even think that is on, I don't think it's an option on an application to put that on there. You know, does that make me an AA? And then a GLBT. I mean, that is an entire lot of letters. I mean, just in a definition of self, I wonder if it defines me if I add more letters. Or are we just a community united? Are African Americans, when we get together for Black History Month or Black History Parade, like gays have a gay parade, lesbian, GLBT, the community, aren't there people out there that's just like no separation amongst races? So can I ask everyone, is all this separation necessary? I mean, I'm losing track of letters. I mean, as I grew up, there's more letters added. And I'm not young. I mean, I'm 40. And this started way before I was born. I mean, people were in the closet. Now you don't have to be in the closet. But now that you're not in the closet, and I love out and proud, but why doesn't it speak for itself? Why do we have to separate each other? I call it 1313 on the clock, segregation, because we're doing it to ourselves. Am I so different for my preferences as a male is from his preferences? No, it's a preference. I understand out and proud, but that is also the enjoyment of it. It's the fact that we can get married now. Do you realize that we could do that before all the extra letters were added? A lot of people were lifelong partners before we called. Now that we can get married, like a lot of people prefer the lifelong partner. Because we realize at this point that no piece of paper will define your relationship. 1444 on the clock. The divorce rate is outrageous. So if there's no definition of your relationship, does that mean that you're not monogamous? person for life that you love. I mean, there's no separating you like two peas in a pod. So why separate yourself? Why separate all of us like that? 15 is what I saw. Why separate all of us like that? We're doing it to ourselves. Exactly what we asked mankind, humanity, the straights as you want to call them, not to do to us. We've started to do to ourselves. Who does it matter? Why does it matter how you prefer? The way you date, what attracts you. I mean, now we have non-binary, which is not even a description of self. You're not this or that, but you love the person. And you want to love the person for their brain. Okay, so why does that have to be defined? Can just like everybody else, we all just kind of go out and find that for ourselves. Like, is there literally a difference between a straight black man and a straight white man? And do they have to define that? What if the straight black man likes biracial relationships? So look, is there a definition and now he has to add more letters to his straight black man? Does he have to have straight black man, biracial, loving individual who likes the mind? That's an entire whole lot of letters. If you just take out the extension of the word, that's a lot of letters. Can we just accept each other? Because then you want to be defined. It is so important for you to be defined. But aren't we the ones that didn't want to be defined as different from anybody else? That was the premise and importance, 1744, of the gay rights movement in the first place. Now that we have all the rights that we could ask for, we still are defining. We can adopt, we can own houses, we can get married, we can... What is this? You're still trying to add something to be angry about. Where is the change, the evolution in us that we don't need to be defined? And what I do in my bedroom is my business. The kind of people in which I prefer, that is my business. It used to be that females who are into females, we used to just dream of just being able to be with one person. We used to dream of that monogamous relationship. That was the dream, even before me and you and you. Dreams have changed, haven't they? Now you have some of us that are dreaming to be with more than one person. I have this one person, but I want this one person too. And this one person too. We stepped over. And then back then, we were sitting, back then they were like the secret society of lesbian gays. We were all like, if they had nearly what we have today, they would be ashamed of how we're acting. because they couldn't even tell anybody. They had to get married to men, knowing that they loved women, had a girlfriend. Each girl, each one of them as a couple, had to marry men. And some of them married gay men so that they could be. It's like now that and now we can get married and openly be kiss in public. Oh yes, baby, we can get down. I mean, you can believe what I saw last night. But we're still not satisfied. Enough is never enough. Why can't what you prefer, now that it's not even hidden. It's not hidden. We have just as many rights as our quote unquote straight friends. Matter of fact, some of them, where we switch sides. The straight people are now, they're now the ones in the closet while we are out here. They're practicing the old way while we get to be in the new and enjoy it. You can't call the cops because you're kissing your girlfriend outside anymore. The cops are going to tell them, well, don't look. How much free can you be? 22. I think that we're about the only culture of people that haven't even had to deal with slavery. We were not enslaved as a culture. And we were born this way. There's no changing it. Hello. And some of us tried. Me. I can't even tell you my endeavors to get to where I am at 40. As an 80s baby. The 2000 babies, I mean, they look wild. Look wild. The 90s baby, look wild. Late 90s at least. Mid 90s. Born with so much freedom and still can't accept that you are included. No matter what it is, we're inclusive. We're included. We have broken the barrier that was put before us. Now there's gay women in politics. Even back in the 1800s. I mean, we've been around for a long time. Since Sodom and Gomorrah, baby. And what happened in the Bible to the Sodomites? And what happened to the city of Sodom? We don't even have to worry about that. Nobody's burning down our home. Now you may have a problem like with individuals. You go to certain places and do certain things in certain cities. Hello, don't go there or leave. Because there's an entire world out here. It's like I wouldn't just go to the most racist town in the world and live there, not only are they racist, they're not going to hate the fact that they're not going to like the fact that I am black and gay if they were racist in that way. Don't live there. And once you do take yourself out of the box, and take yourself out of the box. I can't even say that you're in one. It's like a self-imposed prison. But my family's here, and this is here, and that is here, and I grew up here, and all my friends. We make new friends every day. You meet new people, even in the grocery store. Your mama's gonna call. Your daddy's gonna call. You can go visit just like everybody else. Every other kid that moves away from home. But if you choose to stay there, then that is something you have to deal with. That is your choice. But that does not mean you get to label yourself or let anyone else do so. There's a difference between a choice. Our people, a lot of them grew up without a choice. There was no choice. Now there's so many choices. We're trying to add choice. We might as well add choice to our GLBTQIA now community. Why do we have to add another name? I'm a female. Am I a female and the female dog word? No, my name is Ace. Thank you. Thank you. I once heard a joke. Okay, I'm not even going to tell it because it will sway from the seriousness of this conversation, and that is to say, please consider these things before you go off and try to add another separation to what's already okay. It's fine. You have everything. Separate in your own mind. Meet up in a community. Expression of self. It's like having a hobby like music. And then having another hobby, something you really love like architecture. We meet up with our community of musicians. Architects meet up with their community of architects. But does that have to mean? And I know it's just kind of like you're separating it. You may see this when you see this as separating it so far as a job, but you're making what you choose to like as yourself. Self is important, yes. But nobody's stopping you from expressing yourself. We don't have to have so many letters. I'm getting confused, which is confusing us all. So can we start with the letters? Because at a certain point, it's just becoming like one battle after another, each letter. And what are we fighting for? So I just wanted to put that out there because it's something that I noticed last night. Is if we are united, let's be united. Once you start adding this is what I am, 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 then it's no longer a unit. That's separation. And then we all want to congregate in one place. Or we all want to be considered one whole person. When you're so separated and non-binary, lesbian, female, that come on, my people. Unite yourselves inside, within you and within a whole, and accept that that is what you are. And do I have to raise an African flag for people to know I'm African American? No. I love our gay flag. It's awesome. But I think that it explains itself. That's the thing. Red, yellow, black, or white. We are perfect in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. We don't have to do that to ourselves, okay? So that's only my own personal opinion, and no one, not everyone, I'm not saying no one, not everyone will agree with it, but if you thought about it, you don't need a flag. You don't need a letter added to our what's already really great community. Because then we're separating ourselves. I love you. And all those who do get offended, I understand. This is Ace of Wands Hierophant with a guided message to say we're family. And we're united. And we have every privilege in the world. So let's celebrate that. And there's nobody that can hate on you. And I know some, of our community that will stomp you behind if you try. And be justified in the eyes of the law. 33. So let's stop this. Okay? Namaste. Love yourself first.